Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. Another Thursday. Man, I gotta. I'm laughing because I gotta explain what happened behind the stream when I was trying to get prep for this, but we'll get into that. I think it's just hilarious. But anyways, how you guys doing? So I see we have Jose. Hey, welcome to the stream, buddy. um, the first layer. Hey, man. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could finally make it to a stream. It's nice to have a big YouTuber too to join the stream, so I really appreciate you subscribing and coming through on the stream. So, hey Nick, what's up? So what's on the menu today? As you can see, we have my Voron 2.4R2. Like I've been telling you guys, I really do love tap. I think tap is really awesome, and so I wanted it to install it on my 2.42 as well. Just because it's been a massive success on my 1.8, and I'm not looking for chasing crazy speed like most people. You know, everyone that's chasing the lightweight beam and all that crazy stuff. I'm not really looking for that because honestly, most of my Vorons print pretty quickly, for me at least. They all can do 20k acceleration with at least a moving velocity of like 500 to 700 millimeters a second. Now, they can't really cross the 1,000 millimeter barrier. They could if I lower the acceleration, but at that point, it's a give or take. And at that point, I'm gonna have to upgrade like my, get one of those fancy lighter beams or something like that. And I don't want to have to invest all that time when I have so much printers can do the job, right? So to me, it's okay to just run them the way they are with the limited acceleration that I can. But 20k acceleration is not limited in any capacity. It's still pretty good. You're talking about Bambu Labs kind of performance without necessarily have to throw away upgrading to a whole bunch of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm just ranting. Kenneth, hey Kenneth, welcome, man. Dropping by to say hi. We'll be driving home from work. Good luck on the top. All right, man. I appreciate you coming through. Nick R. Hey, what's up? Hopefully I say hi to everyone. I wish I could justify buying another one. It would be a Trident. Oh yeah. It's fun. I mean, if you can do it first layer, go ahead and get more printers, like especially on the Voron side. I mean, they're easy to build, but I get what you're saying. Like the kits are pricey. I ain't gonna lie. These days, kits get pretty expensive, especially without the printed part. But yeah, so this is my tap. Let's get to the point here. I have it already kind of pre-done. I was gonna really do this on a live stream fully, and I did record a video that I was gonna share, but it was so long, dude. It was like 40 minutes long. It was getting to like an hour because I was actually doing the whole tap thing just from scratch. And you know me, guys, I don't like super editing my videos. I like to show the raw content so you kind of get a feel for it. But since everyone was kind of putting out their own version of it, I said, you know what, I might as well just kind of scrap the video and just do a live stream build, since I've been, a live stream installation since I've been doing that anyway. So, but it's already kind of done, so you guys can see that. Let me kind of get my side view going on here so you guys can see it's kind of already done. So everything is adjusted and in place. Now, in order to install this, I'm gonna have to take the back piece off anyways and start breaking this down and install. So let's get to that point. But before I do that, I want to I'm gonna go ahead and kind of start working on the wiring portion, and then we can start taking things apart and then installing this and stuff. So we should be able to get this done for the whole stream. I'm trying to go like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I should be able to get this done because it's just a tap installation. So, but how you guys doing otherwise? Instead of me, yapping here. How you guys doing? How's you guys' week? My week I've been super busy with lots of meeting, lots of change at work. A lot of meetings at work. So, all right, let's get the top installation going on here real quick. I'll let you guys see my screen so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. So, look at the top GitHub here. We can go to the manual. We just need to assemble the manual. Honestly, that's all we really do need. I'm just gonna go ahead and download it and launch it. So the only part I really care about, since I already assembled it, is just to see the wiring again, just so I'm doing this right. So that's the only part I really care about. So make sure that's in place here. All right. We're gonna pop this on real quick. I usually run my solder at like 350. It melts much better that way. Alright, let me get some music going too. So hopefully you guys can hear that. Let me know if you guys hear some music. Turn down so you guys don't hear the echo. Hey, Lasenko, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Just in time. Oh, so let me tell you what was happening in the background. So, as you guys know, I'm gonna bring it up again because I like to talk about it. So for my 2.4, see if I can get you guys seeing it a little bit better here. So for my 2.4, I like, I'm using for the umbilical, I'm using the IGUS continuous effects cable, as I like to use them because it just, again, it just works. But I had a spare, so I ordered, the one I'm currently using is the CF888 model with 18 cores, right? Which is a perfect amount because I can, you know, I'm able to run this felt burner LEDs. I'm able to connect pretty much everything else and leaving a spare conductor. Now, I tuck away the spare conductor underneath here, right? And I was trying to find it to make sure that I actually have it, and I was like literally underneath the bottom of this trying to find that spare conductor I put aside just in case of stuff like this. So in the background I was actually digging for it because I'm like, I didn't want to be on stream trying to hunt and pulling things apart underneath just to find it, but I did find it underneath the SKR Picos. I'm running this off 2 SKR Picos, so it was tucked up underneath an SKR Pico, and I'm like, geez, man, like it's, yeah, it was a mess. But I found the conductor, so we're good. We're able to hook it up because that would have been a mess. I would have to take the whole thing apart just to find one little cable. So I guess you could say in this case, CAN bus would have been a little bit better because then I wouldn't have to hunt for the cable, but it's okay. I found it, so it's not a big deal. Alright. So I think we're supposed to be good now. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is copy. I'm gonna follow this guide here. So what we need to do is cut this. So we're gonna have to cut this down a little bit. We don't need all this extra wire here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down to about, I really don't need it that long, maybe about there. So we kind of like have some room to work with. Yeah, probably about there. So I'm gonna cut it down to about here. I'm gonna give myself just a little bit of length to work with, because I can always cut it back down when I'm putting on the JSD connector. So I'm gonna give myself some room, because I really don't want to make it too short and I'm screwed. All right, so I'm gonna probably cut it about right there. I can always do adjustments at that point. So we're gonna connect, we're gonna cut the red and join the red with the white. And we have this, I can't remember exactly. I know it's a 5-volt something again, resistor, but I can't, I'd have to look back on the paper, but it's, yeah, 220 ohms resistor. So this is what we're going to be using. See if I can keep up with you guys. See people in the chat. Those are yeah, I like the Picos. The Picos are nice. I like the fact that you can flash them super easy on Nitnick. Super easy to flash. So I like them. I like them for that reason. Hey Senzi. Welcome, buddy. 3D experiment. Hey, what's up? Hey DeWitt, welcome to the stream, buddy. Alright, so yeah, let's get cracking here, because we got a bit of work to do. So I'm gonna bring you guys back down just so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here too while that's going. So hey Chardell. Let me bring you to my close-up cam here so you guys can actually see me a little bit better here. See what I'm doing. All right. Alright, so we're going to cut this. Probably about, it says about at least in the manual it says cut this about 10 to 15 millimeters. I'm just gonna guess in my head. I'm not gonna really exactly measure it. It is what it is. Like, I'm just gonna cut it where I feel it can go. So I'm gonna say about right there. Hopefully I didn't cut that too short. I think that should be good enough at least. Cut Y strip this, and then we're gonna shrink this a little bit. See if I can get some heat shrink. I need some heat shrink. Grab some heat shrink, guys. All right. I'm trying to find the right size, at least the size that actually Hold on. Chat is moving, guys. Hold on, hold on. Midweek. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Always cut the red wire. Always, right? Hey, Seven, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Making sure I got everyone. Okay. Alright, let's... I'm going to have to cut this down just a little bit. Just a little. Probably about right there. Maybe a little bit more. I don't want to cut it too much and mess up, so I'm just gonna assume that is plenty. I'm gonna have to strip a little bit more off of this. I think I cut it a little low, but we'll see. All right, so yeah. I'm just slowly trying to coil this over. There's not the best of method to do this. But. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna talk. So I made some progress on my K3. I was gonna do configuration, and I still got a little bit to do, so I'm gonna save a little bit for that stream. I did run into a problem with the extruder, with the hot end, the Rapido, and come to find out, the Rapido that I got have a PT1000 in it. I didn't know it comes with that, so I was struggling to try it, because when you well, two things. So the main cell image for the Raspberry Pi that you get directly from the Raspberry Pi imager, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, avoid it. It's absolute garbage. For some reason, I don't know if it's not updated or not, but every time I will pull it down from the Raspberry Pi imager, it doesn't work good. It causes, I don't know if it's some kind of issue going on with that, but that image is not very good. However, when I went and use my, oh my god, boy, Chardell, listen, you know what, just for the fact that you keep asking for it, where's the bat? Just go for the bat. Just give him just make him enjoy himself this once, because he needs the pleasure of seeing you clearly knocking me out on stream, because, you know, you keep asking for it. Oh my goodness. In the meantime, she's going for the bat. Yeah, so, but when I ran the image, when I did like a regular Linux distro for my T95 Mini and updated using QI8 and everything else, everything worked fine. So I'm not sure. I think just the main cell image via the Raspberry Pi imager doesn't work really well in my experience. So just an heads up on that. Good thing you're here, Spoofy, again. It needs, listen, I need a haircut, man. My barber is, listen, I've been wanting a haircut for a minute, guys, and my barber is, he's not dealing with me right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. My barber is not, he's dropping the ball on me right now, and I need a haircut. So if this doesn't get cut soon, I'm just gonna trim it off. That's what's gonna end up happening. Oh my god. Someone is hitting someone else again. Don't worry, Jose. It's just it's Chardell would like to see my wife slap me over the head with a baseball bat or something. So yeah, there you go. You're all right. We're good. We're not promoting violence. It's all right. All right. Let me get this. Which version of the Rapido you have? Normal plus. So I have the normal one, but I'm surprised it came with a PT1000, Mr. 7. Like, I think I was asking you the other day. I was running into that issue. It came with a PT1000, and so it was reading the wrong temperature the whole time. Like the temp was saying like 156 degrees on idle, and it wasn't. So it was just throwing me off quite a bit. I was trying to pull out my hair figuring it out, but it was a PT1000. Once I put that as a temperature type in fluid, then it went back to like your normal idle, like 23 or whatever. So it was the temperature sensor that was different. I was joking. I figured you were, Jose. I figured you were. My wife is finally going to cut my hair for a social event we have coming up. I'm full on gorilla right now. Hey, listen. There's nothing wrong with a facial hair and everything, man. Sometimes we need that manliness. There's nothing wrong with it. Here we go. Would you just, you don't have to be on the camera, but you can just point the bat beyond if you wanna, just for his pleasure. There we go. You're gonna drop in the bot. Here we go. Causing chaos. You wanna just, would you like, come on, just switch. There we go, Chardell. Look. Can you see that bat? Hold on. Let me make sure put it on screen for you. I'll put it on screen for you. That way you can catch it. See it? For your satisfaction. There you go. For your satisfaction. There you go. Alright, so let's get back to business here. Look at him laughing. There you go. Question. When adding the tap, do you need to run a new belt or use the same belt? You can use the same belt as long as you have it. Well, as long as you left enough length. I'm kind of worried on mine because I know I snipped mine a little bit down than usual. So as long as you have enough length, you should be okay. You shouldn't have to use a new belt with it. Unless you cut them crazy short or even when you usually reuse them. Yes, exactly, Nick. I'm hoping to reuse my belt. You're welcome. Laugh my ass off. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Chardell. Swing and miss. LOL. Just sprint a bat and break it. Life on your head. You're a mess. Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna kill me today. Alright, so let's get this going. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some soldering paste on here. It just makes it easy to solder. I find that it makes it very convenient to solder. I really need to print out myself one of those solder fan things so the smoke from the solder don't get in my face. I think that's good enough. Yo, all of these are the wrong size. don't have like a medium sized one. I'm gonna have to. Appreciate you, Lassin. Yeah, tap that like button for me, guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna use something else because that one was a little too on the big side. So I'm just gonna go. My kiddo's in the background making noise here. Alright, this is a little better. Alright, so we're going to do the other side. Right, and make sure I'm doing this right. Hold on. Make sure I'm doing this right. I need to follow the manual here. So the white goes at the top. So I'm going to cut this about right here. I want it too long now. Right here. So, and then we're going to take hold of this. I'm going to twist it on here. And then we're going to take this and twist this on here too. Maybe I do it the other way. Okay, so this is what this is supposed to look like. So it should look something like this, guys. So the white wire goes with the on the top of the resistor with the red one in line there. So I'm gonna sort this in place as well, just so it's I know it's on there. Get some solder paste there too. Hold on, let me keep up with y'all. What board do you use for your Annex K3? So I'm using the Octopus board. I think you want to say Octopus board 1.1, the newer revision. Everything is working fine except I'm actually having trouble with one of my one of the ports. So I did a stepper motor buzz. All of the drivers work except for the third motor spot. For some reason, when I do a stepper motor buzz, the actual 2209 start heating up. Like it gets super hot, and I'm not sure why. Only when I trigger it. So I'm not sure if you guys ever went through something like that, but that's the problem I'm running into. I'm wondering if it's not. I don't think it's a driver. I think it's just that slot on the board that has an issue. So that's what I'm troubleshooting now. If not, I have a spare board that I can swap it out with. I prefer not to, but if it comes down to it, I'll swap it out. But that's what I'm running into right now. print the Kirby fan. That's what I'm gonna do on Nick. I like that Kirby fan extractor there. That's what I'm planning on doing for this. Alright, let me solder this now. Alright. That should be good enough. So now we can kind of cover the whole thing. I may not need it that long now. I don't definitely need it that long, but just enough to cover the whole thing. All right. Okay, so the next one we need to do, I can always cut this down because it doesn't need to be that long. Hopefully I can slot it in between this little slot there, but I think I should be able to get away with that. So the green and black wire goes together. So we can go with the green and black. So the green attaches to the black and the blue is by itself. So we can kind of do a little stripping of this here. Or we can actually cut this, twist it up. You know what? Let me do it that way. I think it's just easier. Let's cut this here, twist it, and then go from there. Cut it right there. Go ahead and twist this together. And then take the black cable, black wire. I'm gonna strip this. Go ahead and line this up. And I'm gonna solder it just for the heck of it because I don't want it coming apart. So a little bit more solder paste here. Not ignoring you guys, I promise. Sometimes I get a little focused sometimes. Let me see. I had a driver that would only go in one direction recently. Gotta love BT. Yeah, and I know I brag about Big Tree Tech, and I do like the boards, but man, sometimes the board can be hit and miss with certain things. Like for example, like that's a brand new board. That should never happen. Like all the driver slot is working except for that one. It's a strange. It's so weird. I do like their products just because they're accessible, but you know. Hey Ryan Taylor, hey, welcome to the stream, buddy. If I didn't say it before, did you get the Rapido thermistor sorted out? Yes, you are right. It was you that I was talking to. So you're right about the PT1000. It was the PT1000, but it was also a combination of of me using the Raspberry Pi image. So you know, like in the Raspberry Pi imager, you can go into like other OSs, and there's a dedicated main cell image for it that you can pull down. Well, that image is not good, because when I image it with my Pi 4, it created a lot of issues. Because even when I did put the PT1000, it still wouldn't recognize that I had a PT1000. Like, it wouldn't register that, and so it still say the same temperature. However, I since then swap out my Raspberry Pi for T95 Mini, and did the Linux setup, the install Kuwait, install everything else, and install Fluid instead of main cell this time, because I haven't messed with Fluid in a while. But then this time when I put the PT1000 in it, it works fine. So I want to say it's a combination of that issue why I had the problem, but I resolved it. So I appreciate you letting me know that, because I would have probably still be trying to figure it out. But I figured out too late, because I actually ordered another Rapido, so I guess I have an extra Rapido on the way coming, because I thought it was just a bad Rapido, but it was a PT1000 in this case. So yeah. Get Flux Pen, it's a game changer. Really? Alright, I'll look into that, Lusink. I tend to just use this, like just kind of put this on there. It does work, but Flux Pen will probably be awesome. I can only imagine that will make this less messy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Triangle Labs sells version with 3 different thermistor. Okay, okay. That's really interesting to know. I've only used the Pi image, but not had the issue. I'll make sure to watch out for that in future builds. I've noticed it, and that's the second time I've used the Pi imager main cell image, and it just it doesn't work. I don't know why. It works, but it causes weird little issues that I've never seen with any other image. So but just running like a direct Linux installation, like a regular Linux, Debian, Bullseye Linux, Ambient Linux installation, and then using QI to install everything else, works perfectly fine. So I have no idea what that is, but I know main cell, and now with the integration of Python 3, there's a lot of changes within Clipper and where things are going. So I'm not sure if that's also have to do with it. There's a lot of change under the hood, so that could be just a variation of issues, but that was just something I observed, so I figured I'd share with you guys. That was that's a problem. Okay, let me solder this last piece up real quick too, because then we're gonna have to tear down my printer here in a second. All right. Cut another piece up a little bit longer. Alright, so we pretty much got the wiring part done. I just gotta like put a JST on it, which I'm about to do. But before I do that, I'm gonna try to see if I can fold it nicely without breaking it and stuff the wire in here. If I can. They have this little wire management thing that they kind of print with the printed piece. I'm gonna try to see if I can stuff the wire in there without damaging anything. There we go. And then can I stuff so stuff that in there. It's so close to the no, I don't think I'm gonna get that in there. Okay, well, let's see if we can at least get this in there, these two pieces in there. See, I made it a little too short. I've seen someone on Discord like I actually stuffed the whole resistor in this little spot, but I feel like that was gonna cause a short, so I'm not gonna try to force it in there. But I at least wanted to clean the cable up a little bit. That may have saved me a few issues. I'm planning a V1.2 build with Rapido until I can get a Goliath, and the image will be the last thing I can check. Oh, awesome, man. I'm glad I could help, man. Yeah, I would definitely avoid that image. Definitely avoid that. Doesn't work well at all. Y'all, I'm struggling to put this in there. I just don't want to damage the cable, the wiring. I'm just gonna man angle it. I don't think it matters though. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. Just stuff it in there, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not gonna go in there, guys. I should have made it just a little longer. It's definitely not going to sit in there like I want it to sit. Trying not to damage the wire either. Whatever. Managed to get a little bit in there. Yeah, that's as far as I'm going to get it in. It's okay. We'll work with that. A little ugly. It's alright. I mean, at least I got a little bit in there. It's just to really prevent this from shifting. And touching anything. That's what that is for. So it's okay. I'm just gonna work with what I got going on here. Plus you have a zip tie. They included a little zip tie area, so I'm just gonna use a zip tie and keep this in place before I do anything else. That way it's not touching anything. See if I can get a little zip tie here, guys. Give me a second. You know what? Actually, I do have zip ties. I do have zip ties, guys. I do have zip ties. Alright, so at least this will keep it a bit safe here, and this will keep it from at least being in the way. Alright, something like that. I'll cut it off though, but a little ugly at the back, but it's alright. As long as it works. Alright. Mello makes great stuff. Well, man, I'm trying to keep up with y'all. Y'all typing. That extruder, that Vez design with Mello looks... listen, I want to get one of those. I want to get one of the VZ extruders. I want to try it on my... If I do get it, it's going to go onto my my VZ Trident. Definitely want to get one. But before I do that, I'm probably going to purchase it so that way we can do a live stream on the new Vez printed hot in assembly. You know, he announced a new hot in assembly, but it's printed version of the metal version of his hot in. So I do want to do all of that at once. So I'm gonna make that a stream too, just, you know, upgrading the extruder, the VZ extruder, and the whole tool head assembly too. So that's coming. Trying to keep up with you guys. You guys are moving. Time to go. See y'all guys next time. Hope you feel bad. All right, man. Take it easy, buddy. See you, Jose. Whenever I hear Voron top, I think of Busta Rhymes. Apex Pepper, how you doing? Just make it clap. That's funny. I know you have a few printers. I only have a rat rig Ender at the moment. A lot of your are Vorons. Do you have any comments on which you prefer, Voron VZ or the partially built K3? I don't know. I think personally, I think the K3 is gonna take the cake for me, just because it has been a complex, challenging builds. Like another issue I had in the background, which thanks, I need to give Ryan. So Ryan G, I'm not sure if he's watching, but I'm gonna give him a shout out at Onyx and the Onyx Discord. This dude has helped me out with some of the simplest things that myself, as I'm gonna call myself a veteran because I've been building these things for a minute now, that I just overlooked. So he helped me out with the simplest things that I got wrong. So while I was putting up the electronics, like I was wiring up everything else, you know, doing the wiring. I should show you guys the wiring after, you know, in a little bit after I done this, but I want to show you the wiring job. I actually did pretty good at wiring up this printer. I put the neutral end of the bed wire into the earth, okay? Because I have the Wegos on here. So for some reason, even though I was looking at the chart, I wasn't paying attention that the neutral end, the end of the bed cable, which is a silicon, talk about the silicon heater bed, that part should be on the neutral end of the AC plug part, and I had it into the earth. So what will happen is that every time I would try to switch on the bed, turn the bed on, it would just trip the breaker, right? And I'm like, why is it tripping? I mean, I've put SSR in these printers so much, and I'm like, why am I getting this so wrong, right? So I kept on figuring out every possible scenario, like, why is the bed flipping every time I turn it on? Like, every time the breaker would trip, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I'm looking at the wiring, looking at everything I did wrong, and still didn't realize that the bed plug was in earth instead of neutral, right? So, and then I posted a picture in the Discord on the Annex K3 Discord, and he immediately spotted it. Like, he immediately kind of asked questions, and then I showed him the image, and he immediately realized I had the bed plug on earth instead of neutral. So little things like that you tend to just overlook, but that fixed the issue. But just little things like that. So I wanted to give him a shout out for being so helpful, just very kind, very helpful, you know, and patient with me on this build. So So overall, yeah, I would say the K3 is probably my favorite, just because it's been a challenging build so far. I haven't printed with it yet; that's coming, but it's turning out to be my favorite out of all of these printers. Let me see. Doing quite well. Awesome. Very good. Pex. K3 is like the endless story. I'm joking. Yeah, the K3 has been challenging. No lie. It's a fun build, but it's definitely been challenging. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But it's fun. It was one of those builds that I knew going in it, like it wasn't gonna be easy without a manual. But I actually, now looking back, I prefer it without a manual. I'd rather y'all challenge yourself too. Like, it's a nice challenge. So let me cut this, clean that up a little bit, and then let's put some. Let's put a JST on here. So we have red is positive, black is, hold on, how is it set up? Yeah, so red is the power, black is ground, and blue is signal. Blue signal. All right. I enjoy the build process as much as the printing, so I might have to add the K3 onto the list after I'm done VZ. Oh, it's worth it. Like, listen, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the K3 is one of the funnest build I've had. And not because of the challenge, but because on a technical perspective, it's the most technical printer that I have. Like, I would say second to the 2.4, and the only reason why the 2.4 is technical, let's be honest here, is just because of the gantry. Outside of the gantry, the 2.4 is really simple when you take a look at it. So the gantry is the only reason why the 2.4 is a little bit on the challenging side. But once you build this once or twice, it becomes like I mean, the second time doing this was easy. Like, I didn't have to look at the manual. I could just put it together, right? The first time I just followed the manual. The second time I could just put it together without the manual. The easiest printer to build was the VZBot. Super easy, because you can just use an X5 SA or any printer that use what's on any printer that uses like linear rods for the bed, you know, like you can convert like a Legacy into a VZBot, you know, pretty much anything that is a square box printer you can turn into a VZBot. That's because of the nature of VZBot. It's just super easy to make. So so that's the less challenging printer. Like, VZBot was not made to be hard. Like, it's a pretty easy printer to put together. But the K3 on a technical level is definitely the most challenging one to put together, just because it's more technical, you know. Gotta run. I get ready for my stream tonight. Great job. Hey man, I appreciate you coming through, First Layer. Thanks for the sub, and I appreciate you. If you're still on, I'll check out your stream after this. So yeah, but yeah, my recommendation is definitely, if you guys decide to own multiple printer, VZBot, Voron, 2.4 Trident, and definitely a K3. Like, if I should own all three printer, like literally if I should get rid of all my printer, I want to keep my V1.8 because I love my V1.8. For some reason, I'm just in love with it. My V1.8, I can easily give this away. I don't really care about the the 2.4. I prefer my Trident over the 2.4, just because of the time it takes to heat up, just faster on the Trident. So I'll keep my Trident and my K3. So if I could, and my VZ Bot, so 4, technically 4. So 1.8, VZ Bot, Trident, and K3. So if I should have 4 of them, that's the 4 I would definitely keep for myself. But the 2.4 I could just easily give away because I hardly print on it, but you know, it's there. Trying to look for my printer. Hey, Build It Basement, welcome to the stream. First time catching you on a stream of mine. I appreciate you coming through, buddy. Tap, tap, tap. What's up, Golden Jaguar? Yep. You already know, installing tap on here. I have a Trident V0 so far. I can't decide what to build next. I'm getting... I mean, a V0 is nice because you kind of already have a small printer. You already have, what you say, you have a Trident already. So I will build something outside of the Voron ecosystem. So it's either a VZ bot or Annex. Because, you know, you can get stuck in the Voron ecosystem real fast just because, again, it's so easy to build. It's well laid out. The guys do a fantastic job with the manual. So it's really easy to get sucked into. There's a lot of kits for it, so it's easy to get sucked into that ecosystem. But I would say challenge yourself, build a VZ bot, build a K3. Like, you know, support those printers too, because I just think that they're awesome printer in their own right. So I would say if you can own one of each, so you can get a perspective of each of those printer, I would do it. And that's why I built them, because I wanted to have a feel for each of these printers. So that way I can, you know, I can share that knowledge. So I wouldn't get literally sucked into just the Voron stuff. If you can diversify your printer setup, I would definitely do it. You can just do the gantry conversion from a trunk to S5S VZ. Correct, 3D experiment. Yep, you can, and get 70% of the advantage of a full Z. That's right. It's relatively cheap way to go. Then you can complete the rest later. Yep, you're completely right. 3D experiment. Definitely. If you could, if I could only have 4 printers. I really can't give up. Like, I can't really pick one. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard to pick from this list because all of them are good. So I really can't say if I can only have 1 printer. That's I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't just pick 1 printer because all of them are pretty good in their own right. So I couldn't just pick one. Maybe 2 minimum, but I couldn't pick one. I couldn't pick 1 printer. And I'm also, yeah, I agree with you, Nick R. I'm still waiting for Rollahan to release the Defiant because I would like to build a Defiant. I like the cross gantry stuff. So that's a printer I'm kind of into now. I like the cross gantry stuff. I don't know, there's something unique about it, differently from the Core XY stuff. I'm really fascinated about it. I'm still wanting to build a bigger K3. And I know they're working on the K3 Plus, which uses MGM12H rails instead of the MGM9C. So if that get released before I scale up, I'm probably gonna go that route and just scale it up. But yeah, I'm into the cross gantry stuff. I don't know, there's something fascinating about how it prints, which is pretty cool. Send some of that FLA Florida warm weather up north, man. I'm a little late to the party. What are you doing on your optical sensor, raw? So yeah, so the optical sensor I have Build It Basement is, I think I have the 5-volt version because I'm just using the regular one that you wire it up. I didn't opt for the PCB because when they announced it, I went ahead and ordered this off Mauser right away. I ordered like 4 of them off Mauser right away just because I know people would have ordered. So this is the 5-volt version that I'm using. I don't think it's 24 volt. Alright, so let me wire this up real quick. And then we can tear down my printer and put this together. Trying to make sure I crimp this right. I hate over crimping, so make sure I got the right amount of sleeve on there. Alright guys, I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's a mighty fine crimping job. Look at that. Not bragging, but just, you know, after a while of doing it, you just get used to doing this stuff. I'm missing an extra. Oh, there we go. It's right there. Oh, the 24 volt PCB converts voltage on. Okay, so you do a 5 volt. Yes. Okay, I got you on it, Nick. Got you. I was cooking. You were quicker than me. Stock was out when I first tried. Good for you. The actual raw sensor has a pretty wide voltage range. Gotcha. I love it. I wired up mine the first time on the V1.8 and it worked right away. I didn't even test anything. I just wired up and then just pushed it up and down and it was saying triggered and open and I knew it was working right away. So I'm happy because I didn't run into half the trouble most people ran into with the PCB version. Plus, I like to self-source. You know, nothing wrong with self-sourcing. I like to self-source my stuff and do majority of my stuff myself. Like even the MGM9 rail, I have so much of them, so I cut my own. So I like to do stuff myself. You know, especially if it's simple. I know a lot of people like the kit because it just saves you a lot of time, but there's a fun element in self-sourcing too, you know. Yeah, there you go. That's good. The only problem is that the PCB has a current inrush issue that spiked like 50 volt and oof. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get the PCB version. I would have probably been miserable too. So I don't mind taking my time doing a little bit of crimp. And there we go. Perfectly crimped. Very good there. And we're gonna do how should I do this? Do positive. So do positive here. I'm gonna do negative and signal. All right, so there goes my connector. So now we can get rid of this and we can we no longer need this on my desk, so now we can kind of tear down the printer, get some stuff out of the way. You once gave me flack for not making my own harness. I see you. Yeah, hey, I wasn't really getting on you, but you know what? That's before all of the CAN bus stuff, right? And the only reason why I'm saying making harness, like for me, like I've been telling these guys, like I don't mind the CAN bus stuff because I will definitely jump on board eventually. I can't tell you when, but so far, just running the IGUS cable stuff, like I have no issues, man. It just works so well, and it's less messing with the software because once you connect the pins to everything, it's just gonna work. Um, Definitely avoid silicon cables. Like avoid anything silicon because silicon cables are garbage in cable change. These cheap cable chains, and that's the reason why I went IGUS continuous flex cable because I just wanted something that can shield the conductors properly. And ever since I moved to that, that's all my printers are wired with. That's why I don't have that type of issue. Like my printers just work. So for me, if I do go CAN bus, it's really for me to just put it on one of the printers and get experience with it. So maybe I can just do a video and share my experience or do a little tutorial guide of how to hook it up. That would be my best bet doing it. But wiring a printer is just, like I said, for me, it's like second nature now. Like I can do it so well, it's not even a problem. If you need the sensor 24 volt, it may work for a while, but it will burn out pretty quickly. Well, good thing I have the 5 volt, Nick. So it's been working great. All right, so now we can kind of turn the attention to here. So now we're gonna kind of take things apart. So let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing, because we're done with the thing here. So we're gonna take things apart. Let me close this door real quick. All right. So if you wonder what the tablet on here for is, I'm running Clipper Screen. We're using the tablet. It's been working really nicely. So this is my new method of actually running Clipper Screen, is just using a tablet, and I haven't done a tutorial on that too. So I've been slacking, guys. Like I really need to do a tutorial on how to get Clipper Screen working on a tablet. Very convenient. I really need to get a little bit better of a lighting in here because this camera, I like it because it has the auto zoom feature, but the color quality is not the greatest. So I definitely need either to put some light behind it so it operates a little brighter. I might be able to do that. There we go. Came off in one piece. By the way, I noticed what kind of tablet? Just an Android tablet. Let's see. Just get an Android tablet. Even an Android phone will work. So any Android tablet, Android phone that you can plug in and turn on and activate the what you activate in there? You go into the settings and turn on developer USB debugging. There you go. You turn on developer mode and turn on USB debugging. As long as you can turn that on, you can get it working on here. I think there's also a way to run Clipper Screen via Wi-Fi. But I hear it's not consistent, so I just run Clipper Screen via the wire here. You just use the USB debugging mode to run it. Oh, also another tip. So the fan I use the fan so the fan I use for all my housing are 12-volt fans, and the reason why I use 12-volt fans is because they push a lot more air than the 24-volt fans. These are like super high speed fans, so they make a lot of noise, but they push a ton of air over the hot end. So when it comes to clogging, I do not get no clogging issues. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I run PLA, ABS, no clogging, because like I said, the more air you can push across these things, the better it is for you. And the better it is, you know, when you're running PLA or running ABS. Because I remember one time I actually ran PLA while using ABS temperature at 250, and I was wondering why it looked so stringy, and you know, I was able to get the PLA out no problem and run ABS fine. So I suggest you guys go with the highest speed 12-volt fan you can get and run 12-volt fan for your hot end fan. It's totally worth it. Again, I'm running a Dragon hot end. I know Dragon are infamous for having PLA gunk up the heat break, and ever since I put a 12-volt fan on my Dragon, no problem whatsoever. It's solid, like super solid. So I recommend 12-volt high-speed fan. These fans are from, I got these off Mauser, and it's the brand name is Wakefield. So Wakefield, they're 12-volt and they're 0.18 amps. So they're Wakefield fans. I think they spin at about 10,000, 9,000 RPM. So they do spin up pretty well, but like I said, they push a ton of air. So I definitely recommend these for hot end fans. So all cameras get better once you throw light on. Yes, for sure 3D experiment. I need some light on this. I definitely need I'm gonna figure out the lighting system next time. I might just have something just sit back here so you can, you know, blast some light in front of it, and I think it'll look a lot better. Maybe wave share, developer mode, and ADB. Correct. Developer mode and ABD last name. Yep. Better with wire because it will stay charged. I have a few old Android devices. Correct. Really want a nozzle cam. I'm not sure about the 3DO due to the ribbon cable. Nozzle cam. The one I saw on Modbot's thing looks pretty good. It looks tempting. No lie, it does look tempting. Too bad I'm not really into those things. Like, I'm not really into a nozzle cam. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, you can actually see what the freaking nozzle and the layer going down. I don't know if it's worth all of that work to get that going, but it looks pretty cool when I saw it on Modbot stream. That was pretty cool. So let's take this off. So let's take off the extruder portion here. Like, ever since I built this, I haven't taken this apart. So this will be like the second time I took this thing apart. I really even take my printers apart for anything, because they just work. They all work. But I don't print on this very often. I usually either use the Trident or my V1.8. I only really use my 2.4 like when I just want a particular print or a particular thing to print. I'll throw it on here. But and it works fine. I just don't use it as much because I'm impatient, and I don't like wait for the chamber to heat up. There we go. And we just unplug this. That's it. That came off pretty easy. And by the way, I'm using the cheap Vizec 17mm motor. You know, the motor that everybody complains about get hot. This is what I'm using, and I have no issues with it. It works. It really works well. So, but then again, I don't run it over ampage. I think I run it right at 500 milliamp or something like that. But this is the one that's infamous for getting hot. But for me, so far, it's been working on all the printers so far. So I don't know. Maybe I know what I'm doing. So we're gonna rest that over there, and we're gonna work on this. Hey, thank you, Billy Basement. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate that. Hey, by the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to Billy Basement YouTube channel. I like watching his video. He makes some awesome content, especially right now. I think he's building his 2.4R2, and he's adding a bunch of customization to his. I think he's installing tap on his as well. So please go ahead, subscribe. I'm all here to support all of us in this 3D printing space. So please go ahead, subscribe to him, give his channel a boost. The more the merrier in this space. So, yeah. All right, so let's take this off here. And by the way, guys, don't get me wrong. Like, I've never had to install. Like, don't get me wrong. I never had to install tap because my Clicky Probe worked really well. But tap is nice. I'm not gonna lie. Tap is just nice. The convenience of not putting in a offset is really, really nice. And to get perfect first layers is just worth it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's so worth it. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. It's just worth it. All right, so we need to take off this now. And so luckily, guys, I do have a plenty cable. If you see it, I actually have enough cable here, so I'm lucky. I guess I really did think ahead of time here. Grace said, "LOL, great. Now I have to give you some shout outs." Thanks, man. No problem, dude. Hey, listen, man. We're a family here, man. Listen, it's a great community, great people, so of course I'm going to support you, bud. Alright, I guess I have no need for this anymore, guys. I am going to take out my screw, however, because I don't want to waste that. But I don't have any need for this anymore. Quid pro quo. You already know. You already know, Nick. That's how it works. Favor for favor. The Joker and the back panel painted or sticker. So my wife has a Cricut. Is that how you say that? A crew cut or Cricut, how you want to pronounce it. And so I just pull off SVG off the internet and then put it in Inkscape, and then you can cut out the different parts of it and then print it, and then I just put it on there. So it's basically vinyl, just vinyl that I put on there. You know, I like to theme my printers. I just like to be unique. I don't like the plain Jane stuff. I kind of like to just put a theme to the printer. You know, it just adds some flair to the printer. So, yeah. So it's vinyl. It's vinyl. It's a vinyl. Hey, 007 FPV. Hey, buddy. Welcome. Repeatability is perfect with tap. I just hit print and walk away, and so far, oh, I see, exactly. That's why I like tap. Yo, this is why I like tap, and I brag about it because, and I usually don't brag about stuff like that, but it works, guys. I mean, if I could put it on every printer, I would put it on every printer. It's just that good. Like, it's repeatable. It's accurate. I'm not saying it's the most accurate thing, but from what the Voron guy said, it's pretty accurate. And so far, to me, it looks like it's pretty accurate. But it just works. And then less configuration, because with Clicky Probe you need a bunch of freaking macros and a bunch of call outs to have it do a bunch of stuff. And with, you know, with this, it simplifies that. It really does simplify all of that stuff you need in your config. So there's some positive there, you know. Yeah, I'm just taking out all my screws because I really don't. I need these to recycle for something else. Honestly, even if I could take out the, if you guys can see that, if I could take out these two, I would, but I'm too lazy, so I'm gonna let that be. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to take this off in order to mount it on here, 100%. So I'm gonna have to take this back off. So I think I may need to take off yeah, I'm gonna need to take that off. Alright, so just slide that back so it can move. Okay, something is stopping me from taking it off, maybe, possibly. Pretty sure I cleared the hole. Oh, come off, you thing. Ah, I see what it is. Okay, I see exactly what it is. Those magnets are stopping me from taking it off. And I'm pretty sure I put it all the way back, so I may have to just hold on. I'm getting a little stuck here. I'm gonna have to come on. At least I know the magnet is pretty strong, so kind of keep it in place. There we go. So I had to like slowly take it off here. There we go. Yeah, just to state the obvious for GoldenJaguar, it's a lot of work to make these videos, and I'm sure he does it for the community and to help grow the community. If you have a few bucks, throw it in. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Listen, I take what I can get. Listen, the viewership alone, the fact that you guys let me entertain you guys, really, I am truly appreciate you guys. Let me entertain you. And any donation goes right back into the channel, go right back into buying more printers. So trust me on that. It really goes nowhere else. So, alright, so I'm gonna get a let me get the screws that I need. Screw this on in place. So, I think I need one more set of those screws. Let me see if I can find it. Tell me I have them. One second, fellas. I'm trying to find a little screw pack that I had with these very tiny screws. So it's not over here. It must be somewhere out there. There we go. Found it. I think it was M8 is the screw size we needed. Yeah. And I find that too, guys. The screws that they suggested on the BOM, I would suggest you follow that, because if you deviate from that, I can see how you can run into a little bit of an issue. So I wouldn't. I mean, you could get away with probably using like other screws, but certain parts you definitely have to make sure you have the correct screws, because you would definitely run into some trouble there. All right, so now go ahead and put this here. I don't think you need washers in between this. I'm pretty sure you don't. Pre-screw it in there. Okay, I'm gonna catch that. And then catch the other one here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to tell you also another thing I noticed with tap, and this is my experience, so I'm just sharing it with you guys. When you put this on, this is the metal, the rail, make sure it's tight. I ran into an issue that I would like to share with you guys, just again for future purposes and to help someone else. Make sure this is as tight as you possibly can get it, because what will happen, because it's exposed to the temperature of the bed, if it's not tight, this gets pretty warm. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm on my 1.8, this thing gets pretty warm to the point where the tool head starting to loosen up a little bit. Okay, so so I'm giving you a heads up. Make sure that this is tight, like get it tight in place, because this tend to get like, my tool head was wobbling back and forth, and I'm wondering why it was wobbling, only to find out that this wasn't tight enough. So I make sure to tighten this down as tight as I can possibly get it without, you know, damaging the plastic part. But as a heads up, make sure it's tight, because the heat of the bed does affect the linear rail here. It does get pretty warm. Try not to overdo it, because I don't want to break nothing. So I want to make sure it doesn't affect it shouldn't affect the stop the linear rail from going on though. I think there's enough clearance there. It just looked like it didn't have enough, but we'll see once we get it in place. Did you use your 50mm rail or cut one? Build Basement, I did cut one. I cut it myself. Good thing they, man, the guys at Voron think about a lot of things. So they, you know, you have the little printed piece. I just kind of marked it where I needed to print it and put a line in there, and then use a Dremel with a cutting disc to cut it. So, that's what I did. Like stuff like this for me is like, I like to do it myself because I had all the tools to do it. But if I was kind of lazy, honestly, and I was in a rush, I'd probably get a kit myself. I would have probably bought a kit, but because I had everything at my disposal, the only thing I needed to buy was the actual sensor. The sensor. That was the only thing I needed to purchase. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. When I say I have spare rails, I have spare rails. Like, just rails just sitting. I'm gonna show you in a second. I have a ton of spare rails just sitting back there. Because I'm a low-key hoarder. And I hoard stuff. Low-key, I'm a hoarder. But, you know, this hobby makes you hoard things. Alright, so I think we're good there. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of slowly I'm gonna run the belt first, and then I'll slide this back over there. But so I'm gonna run the belts first, and then I'll go ahead and slide it. Come on. This is when I need my my little tweezer, but let's not pull too much of it. If you wonder what belt I'm using Gates belt in this build. I've tried different belts and they work too, as long as they have the fiberglass reinforced in the belt. It will work, but just make sure it's fiberglass reinforced, because every other belt is going to fail. So as long as it's fiberglass reinforced belts, it will take the temperature. So if you can't find Gates belt, you can use fiberglass reinforced belts, and that will work. I think you need to go back in and retighten after breaking it in. Yeah, yeah, I'm realizing that. Is that a thing, Nick? Do you have to do that? Because like I had to do that with the V.8. Like I had to go back in and retighten down everything. So I'm wondering if that's a thing. Because if it is, then people should realize that you need to retighten it. Because like I said, this part really gets hot. Like this little metal piece really does get hot from the bed. And since I run my beds at like 110C to 115, I really go 115, but 110C, it does heat this up quite a bit. Hey Steve, hey, hey buddy, what's up? Glad you made another stream. I'm just here installing top on my my 2.4 because I like it so much. I really do like top, so I'm here just doing a live top installation. Too much here. That is what the Voron. Oh, that's what the Voron team says. Okay, okay, good to know. Yeah, because I did notice that you had to retighten it down a little bit. So far, the 1.8's been fine ever since I retightened back down the rail. It has been fine. So I really should use a to grab this because my belt's being funny. Come on and behave. Get in there. There we go. Hey David, welcome to the stream. I have top parts coming for 2 of my machines. I'm excited for it. Awesome. I love top. I've been bragging about it. I love top. It's great. Definitely worth it for the Voron ecosystem and machines. You know, but like I was telling these guys, if you're not chasing speed, because I know everybody's been murmuring about, oh, 50 grams of weight, oh my god, it's heavy. Like, come on. If you're not chasing speed, the positive, like, for example, I installed top on my 1.8, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen my videos where I'm still doing 20k acceleration at like 250 millimeters a second with 600 millimeter travel speed at 20k. Okay, still pretty quick for a heavy tool head. So it can be done. Like, I'm not trying to beat VZBot or the Annex K3, but I'm just saying you still can get a lot of speed out of it. I just think that people want to go like gung ho and trying to beat the speed benchy world, benchmark. I don't know why, but I'll take a quality print over speed any day for me. I like a quality print over speed. So, but if I can get the speed with the quality print, I'll take it. And if I can get reliable first layers, and top is giving me that, then I'll take that over just want to go light and speed and everything, And in that case, you might as well just buy another printer for that case, You might as well buy a printer for speed or build one for speed, but, I like that. I definitely need something to grab this last one. This last one is definitely not want to get through. There we go. There we go. Finally got it, guys. I got it. I'd ask Steve about Voron stuff, but I hear that he's printing upside down these days. You already starting on Steve, huh? Alright. So, actually I had plenty enough belt. I'm realizing that I guess because the base of the top is so small, even if you had a little bit of belt, you actually have a lot. Because it doesn't require, that much belt to tuck in. So, I end up having more belt than I thought I needed. So, what I'm going to do is loosen this up before I do any adjustment there, because I don't want to, I kind of want to, let me bring up my gear entry, because I did this backwards. I was supposed to have, these idler screw above, and I have it below. Not sure if I did that on purpose or a mistake, but it does work. So I'm going to try to see if I can unscrew them here. That's a little too big. There we go. Screw that in a little bit. Lose a little of the front idler to get a little bit more gate play with it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of just loosening them up. I'm gonna have to tighten them back down while I'm doing the adjustment here initially, and then that way I can. But I think I loosened them the wrong way. So hold on. They're supposed to be at the back, not at the front. They're supposed to be at the back. I put them at the front, so I'm gonna shift them back here all the way. Alright, that's as far as I can go. There. A little bit more. Alright, yeah, that's as far as I can go. There we go. Okay. Alright. I just want to make sure my belts are at least equal before I do anything else, so that way I know where I'm working with. Okay. I'm gonna move myself down here so you guys can kind of see what's going on above. All right. Let me catch up with chat. It's a little wider too, I think. Needs a little bit less belt. Hey, Squirrel Brain, what's up? Just popping in. Appreciate you, man. All right. Let's see what's the next step here. Let me look at the next step, guys. There's something else I'm missing here. I know I'm missing something else. Let's go back to this. Okay. Now keep in mind, I don't use an end stop switch, so you won't see an end stop switch on here. I use sensorless ohming. I'm a big fan of sensorless ohming these days. I really like sensorless ohming for this type of thing. Just save myself on wiring as well too. So, all right. Wait. Ah, I see what I did. I see what I did, y'all. I was wondering why it was curving up in there. Because I'm like, I know it's supposed to go in that extra spot. But I guess it wasn't straight enough to go all the way into that extra spot. So hold on. And it's still curving in there. And there's no blockage in there too, so I don't know why it's curving and going to that extra spot when you're really supposed to come out through the other side. Belt's just being stubborn. Come on. I need sorry to sidetrack you, but where do you get your iGUS FC6F8 from? I go, let's think I get it straight directly from iGUS. I'll just visit iWick's website and then just type the model I use is a CF888. CF888 is the iGos cable I use. Okay. I just want to make sure this is done right because this thing is curving and not fully. What is going on? Hold on here, guys. I just noticed something. Okay. I think I have a bit of an issue here. I'm pretty sure that it's supposed to go straight through the sides, and right now that is not what's happening. Okay. Man, this... Alright, hold on, guys. Hold on. I think we might have run into a little bit of an issue here. We might have run into a little bit of issue here. I just moved the sensorless homing and got rid of the two drag trains. Yeah, I like sensorless homing way better. I never used to. I'm gonna be honest. I never used to be a fan of it. But lately, I get really good. Once you tune it well, you get really good repeatability with sensorless homing. So I like sensorless homing. I'm a big advocate of sensorless homing. Just less wires to run, like less wires to run in awkward places. You know. Loose little screw. Put the belt. Yeah, hey. Funny enough, 7. I just figured it out because, like I said, I only installed it the first time. This is the second time. I just realized what I did. Belt was supposed to be behind first before I put the screws in place. That's what the problem was. Come on. There we go. There. Come on. Just take off some of the slack here. Then, now we can put it back. I'm gonna have to try to get this as best as I can before I put it on here. Cover up the slack. I'm all mixing cables together and whatnot, see? Good to pay attention sometimes. Come on. I'm gonna have to try to figure out the best way to get the cable balanced first before I just pop it on there, because you know once you tend to put the screw on, it tends to grab the back of the belt grabber at the back there. So I'm gonna try to get it as evenly as I possibly can first before I tighten it down. Come on. So I'm going to lightly tighten it down. I'm not going to tighten down all the way. I just want to be able to tighten up the belt evenly first before I use the tensioners. Well, I got strange behavior with my sensorless homing on my SKR Pico, so I went back to switches. Oh man, the Pico is great for sensorless homing. To me, it's just the easiest way to set up. Maybe I just need to update my sensorless homing video that I've done a while ago, and I may just do in that 3D experiment. You might give me just an idea just to revisit it back with a different board. Just to update it. But yeah, sensorless homing is pretty easy. There we go. That's much better. Let's see if I can tug on it evenly. I'm just checking for racking. Okay, so it's racking on that side. So this side is good. It's just racking on this side. Okay, that feels good because it's not racking, and I don't want to over tighten it either. So cool. All right, stuff it. You know what? Let's tighten it down first. Now that's not racking. I just don't want it to change the position on me. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten it down. Tighten it down. Right, still not moving. Good. Why is he doing it? Speak soon. Good luck with top. All right, buddy. We'll talk, Square Brain. All right. All right. We have no racking. maybe a little bit on this side, just like a tiny bit, so I don't have a lot of adjustment to make. It's really on this side that is killing me now. Kind of want to fix that though. That's bothering me. I'm a perfectionist, guys. Sometimes I get in this little weird way. I just want to keep things even. Because I find out, in my experience, if you don't have this nicely tensioned up, like evenly, it you have to be compensating on the other side of the belt, and that's where the problem starts. I need to grab. I need a. See if I can grab. Yeah, I'm using this just to grab onto the belt. Well, that ripped a little bit. I grabbed it a little too hard. That's all right. Loosen it up just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that down a little bit more. Trying to keep up with you guys. My printer wouldn't home in the wrong direction. Sometimes between prints, had to keep rebooting the Pi and Pico to get it to work again. You do have I've seen that before through the experiment where you do have like weird symptoms like that. I can't tell you the last time that has happened to me, but I've definitely witnessed little weird symptoms like that. If you leave it sitting when you leave your computer printer on for a while, and you go to hit print, it will move the print head in a different direction instead of the correct direction. I've seen it done little weird things like that. But that's why I said, like, once you start tuning it, like dialing where the sensitivity is, it tends to kind of work much better than it is before. And by the way, you guys are on. They can see you guys, by the way. I have an audience, guys. So let me see. Yeah, I visitor. Yep. They all saw it. Oh my goodness. That is my wife and her friend, and my friend over there. So even that out a little bit. I think we'll be okay, guys. I think we're fine here. I think as long as I can get the top piece to behave a little bit. My perfectionist side is kicking my butt right now. It's literally bothering me. So until I get it right, we're not gonna move on. You know those one thing where you know it's bothering you, like you know you can fix it? It's a side of me that's coming out. It's like really bothering me that it's not even. And I know I can get it even. There we go. One click. Okay. I'll say I think I'm okay for the most part, but you can tell it's still not. If you guys can see that, you see, let me show you guys. So I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you see how this is not moving? There's no flex on here, and you get this little. There's a little bit of flex. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. See that? I'm trying to make sure that the tension on both sides are even before I tighten this up, because you know the problem is that if I leave it the way it is, I'm gonna have to adjust this in order to bring this closer, and sometimes that throws off the whole balance of the belting. So I want to get this even first, and then I can tighten it up. So if you guys see me struggling here, that's exactly what I'm trying to accomplish, is to get that side even first before I do anything else. So now I'm gonna have to like measure up the teeth. On the belt, so I'm just trying to keep it even, because I remember when I did it before, I make sure the teeth were even. So I'm just making sure the teeth are even on here. Okay. All right. Like one little small adjustment can throw it off quite a bit. Like it's crazy. Okay, I got it. I got it, guys. I got it. Okay. Don't shift, don't shift. Okay. Whew. Sorry you guys have to watch me struggle there, but I had to get it right. Else I would have been bothered the whole time, but I got it. I got it. I got it. Yay! Look! No more flexing. Got it. Alright, so now we can finally put the belt in now, the extra belts. To the side. Trust me, you want to keep your belt even. If you don't do it, then you tend to run into where you're playing this game of uneven tension belts. Like, even though you have the tensioner there, you still want to get your belt even properly first before you use the tensioner, right? Because the tensioner is really made to even out the tension. You can also use it to de-rack the gantry, but like I said, you will kind of want to do it manually first. So at least if you have it manually de-racked, then you can use the tensioner to help just tension in the belt. So this part do take some time. There we go. Y'all, boys, I smell food. I smell food, guys. Food is being cooked. Food is being cooked right now, guys. If you guys could smell what I smell, oh yeah. It's definitely smell like noodles or something. Pasta with some kind of parmesan. It smell like. Come on, be a little belt. Shouldn't have to fight to get you in. There we go. One more side. Sorry if I'm not talking a lot, guys. I'm just like focused on getting this last part here, getting in there. You know the funny part is, when I'm not on stream, my attention span is like so serious. I'll be sitting here for hours, like all quiet. And then sometimes I'm right here and I phase out and I forgot that I'm actually live. So I try to make sure I'm at least whatever I'm thinking in my head, I speak out loud so you guys know what I'm processing. There we go. I think part of the struggle here too, I have big hands, if you guys know what I mean. Oh my god, I'm such a mess. I know I'm laughing at my own little bullshit here, but you know, I got big hands, like big fingers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm having a hard time. If you guys read between the lines there. Oh my god, I'm a mess. I said no worries. my thumb keeps getting in the way. Oh my god. There we go. Finally got it. Oh god, boys. You gotta make fun sometimes, you know. All right. Oh, I'm so happy. Look, guys, no racking. Look, it's. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy because that's what I was aiming for. It's still not having. So we know it's equally tension there. I'm happy. All right. So. Next thing to do is we're gonna go ahead and throw on back our thing here. Now I don't recommend you like YOLO it, but I'm going to YOLO it. I really don't have the guide. I'm just going to slowly shimmer it down back on there, okay? So if you're not careful, like, just be careful, but I'm just going to, like, shimmy it down back on there without the ball bearings falling out. So I'm going to, like, slowly shimmy it. And this is not the best method. I'm being honest with you guys. This is not the smartest thing to do. It's already looked like it wants to give me a hard time to put it on. Come on. Okay. Make sure it wasn't come on, shimmy. This was not the smartest thing to do. Yeah. Don't don't do it near and lose the balls. I had to cook dinner. What did I miss? You didn't miss much, Mr. Basement. I was just y'all listen. The moment you said that, Nick, guess what happened? One of the balls bearing flew out. Hold on. This is, oh my goodness, y'all. Listen. Okay. Maybe this is not the best. Oh, maybe this is not the best idea. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on, guys. Where is my... So you're down by one ball. Nuts. So me trying to push it in there. Well, let me see something, because I'm having a hard time trying to get it on there. See, it slides on fine. Look, it slides on very. Okay. All right, let me steal some balls from this one. This stream is not becoming what I thought this was gonna be tonight. Oh my goodness. You gotta like streaming though. I find it fun. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. We're solid there. I'm missing about a solid 2 from this side. PG, man, PG. Yeah, I'm trying to keep that in mind. I'm definitely trying to keep it PG. All right, we need one more. I don't know where those other 2 fly. It flew back here somewhere, but I'm not really gonna worry about them. There you go. One more right here. Found it. At least one of them. Alright, what I'm going to do, guys, before I slide it on there, I'm going to oil it up. And I think that's one of the problems too. I'm just going to put some oil on there. Hold on. Bear with me. This is what I use, by the way. If you guys were curious, I like to use the stuff. It's really good. So I'm going to put a little bit. This should help move these things along here. Alright. Take two possibly. Let's see. If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna if it doesn't all go on at one, I'm just gonna take it off and then just slide it on by itself. Yeah. I'm not gonna fight with it. I'm just gonna take it off and slide it on by itself. Not gonna fight with it. I didn't want to have to take it off, but it seems like it's a little harder to put on this way with the piece on still. Whoa, it's really under. There we go. Okay. Yeah, two of them still pop out a little bit. Just on one side it seems to be very stiff, but I'm gonna shimmy it down this time. Alright, so lesson learned. This can't be on while you put that on. You're gonna have to like put this on first before you put this on. So I'm not sure, because of, you would think it will work regardless because you're still trying to slide it on, but I guess it doesn't work that way. So lesson learned there, that you can't actually do it that way. So no big deal, but I guess you really can't put it on that way. So, but it's just good to know. Oh, it's a little low. Sorry guys. Thanks for. There we go. Hopefully you can see that there. You crack it back a little bit. Yeah, It's kind of strange that you can't put it on there with the printed piece. It just seems like you can just slide it back over, but apparently not. I guess you can't really do it that way. Which is just a good information to have, that you can't, you definitely have to assemble it with it off. So I guess I'm just saying I'm testing the theory. Alright. So now that's on, I'm gonna have to adjust the magnets. There we go. Adjust them right there. Now, question. The magnet's supposed to be touching, correct? I'm pretty sure the magnet's supposed to be touching the metal piece. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Because that's partially what also stops the thing from jumping off the tool if I'm falling off the carriage. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to at least to be close to touching. At least that's what I'm assuming. All right. So it's pretty stiff. Hey now. That's pretty stiff compared to last time, but that's probably because I have everything plugged out, so it's just kind of stiff. It is pretty stiff. Magnet should be loose at this point. You loosen the screw so that the magnet adjusts to the flush, then screw it. Okay, gotcha. I was assuming that's the case, but yeah. Oh, I need some light. I need to help myself here, guys. I need some light. A little dark up in here. So hopefully you guys can see that. Get a little bit of light, but just want to make sure the magnet is actually touching the thing here. This side, this was fine. That's fine. I'm gonna have to switch sides, guys. Switch position here. That way I can see it just a little bit better. That's stuck a little bit. I think my little magnet at the bottom here is a little stuck because it doesn't want to shift forward. You know what? Let me pull it out. Pull this out for a second. Oh, I'm in the camera, guys. Sorry, I'm in the camera way here. I'm almost done. I'm just trying to make sure this magnet just shifts like I want it to. There we go. Finally. There we go. Then we can tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Alright. We are done here. At least with this portion. Okay. So now we can put the belts, this little loop, come on. There we go. If you notice the theme for tonight's build here is when it comes to these belts and holes, I'm having a little bit of a bit of a problem trying to get them in there, huh? Don't read into that too much, guys. Hey, Robert. What up, brother? Welcome to the stream. Alright, alright, cool. So now the only thing we need to do is just throw back my tool head on there. If you wanted to know what I'm using on here, I'm actually using a Fadus Dragonfly for this setup. And what I'm gonna do while I'm here at it, I got these nozzles. These they're like the what do you call it? They're steel nozzles. So that way I can print carbon fiber ABS. I have some carbon fiber ABS, but these are like the rip-off E3D version. Okay, they work really good. They're like the see if you guys can see that clearly. Let me see if you guys can see that, but my camera don't want to zoom in, focus. But they're like the, you know, the rip-off 3D E3D version of the V6 nozzles, but these are the hardened steel version. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out and put it on here right while I have it off. Hopefully I don't get the head to turn, because you know sometimes it's best to do this heated. And it's definitely going to want to turn on me, so I'm just going to go ahead. Pow. Come on. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to heat this up because it's pretty tight on here, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do this heated. This ain't coming off. I'm gonna attempt one more time. I'm not gonna try to break anything, but I'm just curious. Like it's on there. Can my man strength do it? Oh, got it. I just gotta manhandle it. Look at that nozzle, all worn down. Look, that whole nozzle is worn down. Look at that. Like you can clearly tell it's worn down. That's just hilarious. All right. I'm not going to over tighten it because you don't need to, but just going to go ahead and just give it one nice turn. All right, it's all done. And here we go. Nicely changed. Looks so much better. All right. So, I'm guessing I'm going to throw on the extruder first. So I'm going to bring this back down just a little bit. I'm gonna have to swap out, let's see, so put this in here. So you remember I told you guys earlier about how the setup works? So earlier I mentioned that this IGOS cable chain come with 18 conductors, right? So what I typically do is I will take like a 4-pin, and so this is a spare conductor right here. So that's why I said like the upgrade for me is pretty easy, because I went ahead and tuck away the spare conductor in the LED port. So these are the LED cables for the stud burner LED. So the blue, red, and green, but this white one is just a spare. And the reason why I put it there, just in case, you know, again, like tap requires 3 wires instead of 2, because this was the clicky probe wire, right? So it only requires 2, your ground and your signal. But now that I need 3, which is power, ground, and signal, now I have the spare wire that I can pop out of this, plug right into this, and all I got to do is just make sure that pin connects to the right connector, and we're good to go. So that's what I'm saying about, you know, that kind of way of having more conductors, because you never know what you're going to add to the printer, and I just thought ahead of time to make sure that was the case. So that's why I wanted to show. I like that. It's kind of nice to have the iGos cable chain for this reason, because you know I don't have to add or bridge anything else. So now I'm just going to pop this one out, this white piece one out, and then put it into that port. So easy swap. See, no challenge. Now I'm not saying now CAN bus would have been easier. I'm pretty sure CAN bus would have been a simple just activation, but like I said, this wasn't too hard either to do. Just pop it out of here, and now we have this free, and so all I got to do is just pop it in here now. But I've got to make sure this is all, where's my I got to make sure this lines up. So we have power, which is red, blue is the signal wire, and black is ground. I just want to make sure I match this up. So we got the black and the red spot, we got the yellow and the ground spot, we got the white and the signal spot. So I'm just gonna have to make sure that I keep a notation of that. All right, and simple as that. So now we can just kind of pop it in and it's connected. So let's go ahead and run this. You're gonna have to definitely run input shaper again on this, since I already pulled down I messed with the belting, so input shaper has to be redone. Not many spare wires to be had there. Yeah, not much. I only had one spare. Now, keep in mind, Build It Basement, that if you want to, you can order a 20 conductor one, or you can go up to about 25 conductors. But I just feel like I didn't need it. I didn't need that much conductor. There's not much feature I'm pretty sure you can add to the tool. It maybe the camera, you know, but I was just thinking ahead of time that maybe like 18 conductors was plenty, you know, and it worked out in this case that I actually had a spare conductor for just running Voron top. But that's all I needed, you know, really just the light and extra conductor, really. But you can order up to 20 or 24 conductors if you need it, you know, for future purposes to run something else. I'm not 100% sold on CAN bus. Even if you have the parts to put it in, I worry that troubleshoot should. Yeah, I totally get that too. The trouble of doing that. You know, software is already a mess. The firmware is already a headache to mess with too. But I definitely only want to try CAN just for the experience. I want to see what it's like to mess with that type of thing. Gary, hey, welcome to the stream. Love your videos, bro. I really appreciate that, man. It makes me feel good when I see comments like that my video helped you guys. I've been getting a lot of that comment lately, and it really does make me feel like I'm really doing something for the community. So, really appreciate that, Gary. Alright, so I got my extruder back on. Nice and tight. See the top in action. Yep. It's moving. Alright, cool. Okay, let's do let's put this on. Just trying to make sure nothing shifts because right now it's kind of rocky up here. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen, but I'm assuming. I mean, everything else is tight, so I'm assuming that's why. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm just gonna let's go over this one more time. Make sure we're good, but yeah, we're good. They're tight. Yeah, we're good. So I don't think it can get any tighter than that. But it's rocking a little bit. It's just weird. Got some flex in it. You guys can see that, right? Got a little bit of flex. It's kind of weird. But we'll see once we put everything in place. Alright, I might have to loosen up these a little bit. May have made it a little tight. There we go. Uh-oh. I didn't see this part popping out here. Crap. See, sometimes it's good to just look at both sides. You can see my cable popping out there. There we go. Didn't see that side popping out a little bit. Not all the way there. I think a wire is in front of the way here while I can't. Oh yeah, see? I was right, man. It's supposed to be under, so it's like fighting me. There we go. These supposed to be through. All right. place for a sec. All right, bottom piece now. So I got to put pressure on the front here because it's bowing just a little bit because I tighten up the top a little bit. So I have to add pressure at the bottom here for this to get in. Y'all have a good night. Good night, Jay. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Going to get my daughter in bed. Thanks for the awesome video on keeping it real, man. Instruction of production. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night, man. Take care of the daughter, and I'll see you next time, buddy. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you guys who are just sticking it through here. Kind of almost done with this tool head part. Thought I could stuff this all in about 3 hours, but I'm almost done though. Alright. I don't want to over tighten it because these tend to break. But there we go. Yeah, so once you add the stealth burner back in place, it tends to stabilize that weird rocking that you had. I guess that's the nature of it. Yeah, so that weird rocking of the... Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. So now we can made it higher though, so hopefully it didn't stretch too much. But it does. Adding top made my whole belt path stretch a little bit out here. So we'll see how this behaves once I'm done with it. So now we just got to plug everything in. And then I got to set in the firmware. I got to make some changes. So this is my extruder motor, stepper. This is this is my hot end, which is right here. This is my LED. Nope, no. So I plugged in the wrong thing. Ooh, that was close. Close. Alright, so I got everything plugged in here. So really now it's all about like plugging everything up and running the wires. So before I do that, I'm gonna have to flip this over and make sure that my my wire is in the right place before I turn this on. But everything's still solid. There's no twisting. Looks good. I drop out for a while. Did you talk about doing the nozzle swipe before homing? So yes, so I'm gonna nozzle swipe before homing. I have it set up on my 1.8 3D experiment to it heats up first, then it goes down to about 150 degrees C with the macro that you put into the config. But after it does that, what will happen if you don't put a M109S? It will try to heat back up, but they tell you like it won't heat back up. It'll basically fail the print. So you got to put, so after it does, let's say that the quad gantry level, a bed mesh, then I will do a M109S, whatever the temperature that I want to set at, and then once it heats up, then it will do a nozzle wipe, and then it will go into printing. But if you don't put an M109S in there after that initial script bringing it down to temperature, it won't heat up back by itself, and it will fail the print. So but I'll do all of that. I'll show all of that if I have the extra time to show it. So I'm gonna flip the back of this and show you what my underneath of my printer looks like. And please don't judge, guys. Like, it's not the best looking at all. I promise you, it's a wiry hot mess. But we're gonna do it. We shall do it. Put this back. All right. So we're gonna flip this over. I gotta keep in mind what wires I'm using again. Let me take a step, make sure I'm looking at the right wires here. So blue is connected to the white, which is sensor, yellow is ground, and black is power. I gotta remember that. I gotta keep that in my mind. Gotta keep that in mind. Okay. Don't judge, guys. Do not judge me, because this is not the best wiring job ever, but you know. Not the cleanest wire management ever. I try to make it clean. As you can see, I'm using two SKR Picos. I know what everything, it looks like a mess right now. If you look down here, you can see the T95 Mini I'm talking about. So that's what I use to power all of this, using the T95 Mini. Then, so I have the T95 Mini plugged in. It's being powered by a what do you call it? It's being powered by this here. So this is a step up, step down converter, step up, step down converter. So that's what's powering the T95 Mini here. And then I have a USB 3.0 adapter here. So that's what I have all the board plugged in, including this USB extension to run Input Shaper. So this is what I use to plug in to run Input Shaper if I need to run Input Shaper. So I'm to show you. So this is the Pi Pico, and this is my Input Shaper setup here. So that way, when I'm ready to run Input Shaper after this, I just plug it in. I just go ahead and just pop it in from underneath there, just like pop it in right there, and I can run Input Shaper setup. So that's what I use for my Input Shaper setup. So if you guys were curious. Yeah, so SKR Picos, because they're just neat. Look, they're just like two neat little board. Like they're just easy to set up and work with. So I just like that. Easy to flash. So this is the pin. Remember earlier I was telling you about the story? This is the one little conductor I was having a problem with. It was stuffed underneath this board, so I couldn't find it. So I was like, geez, like where did I put the conductor? But here it is. This is the little conductor I was having a hard time finding. So I had to pop this off now and wire up a JST to it. And it goes to this one right here. So it goes to this. And so the black was power, the green is ground, and this is signal. I gotta remember that. I gotta keep that in my head. Don't want to wire it wrong. Gotta keep that in my head. Trying to find something to clip it with. So not clip it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my tools again out. Do you do that because the T95 or whatever doesn't have GPI ports? Correct, Nick. So the T95 Mini doesn't have. It's right here. If you can see it in the corner, I put an active cooling on it because it tends to run a little hot. But the T95 Mini don't have GPIO ports pins on it. So this method is the way to kind of get bypass that, so you can use input shaper still. Which is kind of nice, because honestly, I don't need to use the GPIO pins. Like, I think that's messy. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have that set up too. I'll show you guys. So this is my GPIO pin setup, and look how long the cable is. Like, it's, to me, this is unnecessary. Like, I mean, I can just plug it in and go, but I just find that this is better. This is better than doing this. Like, I just feel like it's a messier way to run input shaper, I'm being honest with you. So I like this better, because I can just use this and plug it in all my printers and via USB, micro USB, and it works. So I just think that this is a cheaper alternative than to make a long wire trying to plug it into your GPIO pins on the printer, you know? So I think this is just better, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you bought that 5ZEC ADXL board. I think, isn't that what Roland suggested? I'm probably gonna buy one too, because the Type C with a Type C thing, I could probably just run a Type C. Yeah, I could do that. I could just run a Type C cable right from here all the way out here, and then run it that way. Yeah, I could do that. That's a good idea, 3D Experiment. I'm probably gonna end up investing in one of those instead. So that's a good idea. Type C ADXL. Alright, so let's crimp this thing real quick here. And alright, let me get clip off one of these plugs here. Alright. I really should put a white I should put a white to know what it, you know what? I don't want to confuse myself. Let me go put a white just for safety reason. I know myself, and if I don't put a white heat shrink on it, I'm gonna forget exactly what the purpose of it for. So to be smart about things, we're gonna just put a white heat shrink on it and call it a day. For just so I know exactly what it's for. It's like a mental labeling, I guess you could say. Come on, can I get a... I can hardly see, but I think I still can get a good crimp on it. There we go. Still managed to get a good crimp on it, boys. There you go. Alright. Then we're gonna take the lighter. I'm still undecided about CAN bus. Rat Rig team feels it's not a good idea for 3D printer. You know what? Alright, I never give you my raw opinion, so I'm gonna give you, what, 10 of you guys watching my raw opinion. I don't want to say I don't care for it, because I'm all for anything that propels 3D printing technology forward. Now, is the benefit outweighs like you just... Oh wow, I used the wrong plug, guys. Look at that. You see that? I sat there and used the wrong plug. Ugh. Ugh. I used the wrong plug in the middle of what I'm about to say. Can I get it off? Possibly? Can I get it off? Maybe? Oh, I maybe can get it off. I maybe can get it off. Dang, I used the wrong plug, boys. Like, I was supposed to use a smaller one. Dang it. I got it off. I got it off. Got it off. That was a close call. So, dual picos look wild to me. Was this because there was no 8-driver stepper board? No. No, Lussing. It's not because of that. It's just, I find the dual picos easier to flash. Like, I just like the flashability of them. You just plug them up with a USB, you just put the driver on them and it's done. And this was also to be familiar with using dual MCU with Clipper, so I can give myself experience with it. It's actually not hard to set them up, so you know, it was a choice. Honestly, I never had to go that route, but since I know I was not going to use anything beyond 2209 stepper drivers in this case, and I do like the embedded 2209s over the step sticks. In my opinion, they seem to work much better, so I just went with the dual SKR picos. They just look nice, and they're cheap. Yes, 3D Experiment, they're cheap. For $20 each, you can't beat them. They're super cheap to replace, and they work just as good. So, and easy to flash. Don't forget that. They're very easy to flash. So, that's why I went with them. What was I looking for? Yeah. But back to the CAN bus stuff. I don't mind technology that will help propel 3D printing. But here's the thing. I still believe in traditional wiring. I know it's a pain, but listen, if you do it right, you really don't have much software stuff to mess with. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, every time I go on Facebook, because I'm always on the Voron Facebook group, there's always, I'm promising you, 5 times out of 10, someone is complaining, oh, it's a pain in the ass to set up CAN bus. It's a pain in the ass to set up CAN bus. It's a pain in the ass to set up CAN bus. So when you hear that over and over, I'm not gonna lie, I know the technology it's in its infancy, so I can bat an eye to that. But it's also like you're leaving one trouble of wiring or having too much wires to another trouble of messing with the firmware and software to get it right. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's a tit for tat. So I guess you choose your own points in there. For me, I prefer just wiring it up one time and call it a day. I know that in the firmware side, all I got to do is just configure for the board and I'm done. I can print. Whereas, you know, messing with CAN bus, I got to worry about the wiring the CAN bus correctly, make sure I'm not burning up the wire the CAN bus, make sure that I'm flashing the firmware on the CAN bus on the MCU. It's just so much more to do on the software side that I'm like, is it even worth it, you know? So I can see both sides of the argument, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to take the easiest route. And to me, the easiest route is if I can just take a little bit more time to wire up my printer and then just flash the board and I'm done, then that's what I'm going to do, you know, versus messing with a bunch of boards or a bunch of additional stuff to mess with, you know, and saving myself a little bit on the wiring job. So, like I said, I'm not against it, but it just really depends on where you're at in life. If you prefer just having less wires and mess with the software more and you're familiar with Clipper, then I can see you going that route. But if you're a person that don't want the complication of messing with MCUs and having additional stuff and don't mind traditional wiring, then I just go with that stuff, you know? So, I can see the argument for both is what I'm saying. They equally have their pros and cons. And it just depends on what you're satisfied with. For me, the wiring I don't mind. I don't mind the wiring at all. So, the only thing I would add is fans to the Picos. They do have a fan. So I have the fan. These fans, they blow right across them. I'm not sure if you can see these. These two fans, anytime the bed comes on, it automatically start blowing air across them. So they get cool. They don't run hot at all. So they do stay cool. Oh, see, yeah, Nick just pointed them out. Yeah, 60 or 80 millimeter fans. Yeah, so there's fans blown directly across it. So it stays cool. No issues there. I was running my mouth and I almost forgot what I'm supposed to do here, so I remember now. And I really appreciate you guys sticking around with me. I know it's getting a little late, but I just kind of want to finish up this little last piece here. But I really do appreciate you guys sticking around. Honestly, if I could do a weekend stream, I would, but I respect Steve and Nero's weekend time slot, so I'm not gonna hamper that, guys, you know. Plus I like watching them myself, so I'm not gonna invade on their time slot. I like my little Thursday time slot. So yes, it doesn't accommodate for all the European guys who watch on their own time slot. But if I ever get opportunity to do a stream during the day, like Thursday during the day, I will do that, so a lot more people can see it. But for now, I'm just gonna rock it with a time slot I got, you know. All right, now we can put on the correct pin, because that was, there you go. All right. All right, we're connected. So now what I need to figure out is the SKR pin layout. Make sure that power is power, whatever is whatever. So let me make sure the pin layout is correct before I even agree that it's in the right slot. So SKR Pico. pin out. Go to the GitHub here, hardware, pin out. All right, let's see. So I'm using the ZN stop, right? Is what I was plugging? No. Where was I plugging? Right here. So I was using. What's this for? What is this? Oh, this is my ZN stop switch. Man, I don't even need this no more, bro. I don't need this no more. Because I don't need that ZN stop. Yeah, I don't need that no more. So this is going to sit here. I need to remove that. So this is not going to be of any use, so we can put that aside. So we can actually plug it in here. So I actually need to swap the cables around, guys. So I said the white was connected to the signal. Signal pin is all the way on the other side, so I gotta swap. So I gotta swap them over. I gotta swap them. Over. Gotta swap these two over. So what did I say? 5 volt. Okay, so this goes right here, and this goes right here. Okay, and then we just, there we go, all done. So this portion is done, so all I got to do is pop it over, turn it on, and do some configuration, and we should be good. Wow, that took longer than I thought, guys. That took longer than I wanted it to take. But it's actually done, so. Let me keep up with you guys. It's a problem where it's a problem with wires in the chain stretching over time and having to break at one point in the movement. It's not enough to cause printer shutdown or stop printer printing, but it will have the effects on the, okay. Prints due to the loss of contact in that part of the movement. Don't know if you understand what I'm saying. No, I understand what you're saying, 007. Yeah, I totally get it. I'm just sitting here repurposing Andrea's Super Slicer profile for my VZ button. Nice. Yeah, okay, so I get with normal wiring. So, like normal wiring, I understand that point because that was an issue. But what I'm saying is that I'm going to give you two scenarios before I continue. So, this is why I went with the IGOS cable chain. Because with the IGOS cable chain, it has a thick sheathing on it, right? And I'm not saying, personally, I think it should be the standard to use the IGOS cable chain. I wish Voron would recommend that if you're doing a wiring harness for those who want to do that, because that thick sheeting, do I have one? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to use this, but it's okay. It's for demonstration purpose. So, this is one of them I bought. You see this thick sheeting that you see here? No cable chain can destroy this, right? Like I have mine right now. If you look behind me, if I can show you on my 1.8, the bigger one, like it's been running in cable chain forever, and guess what? The only thing that happens is that you can see the rubbing of the cable chain on it, but it cannot cut through that PVC sheeting. So honestly, if you're running cable chain, I recommend these IGOS continuous flex cable because it add a layer of protection if you're using cable chain or perfect cable chain. But since everyone is going umbilical, then you really don't need to worry about CAN bus, in my opinion, because if you're running umbilical, then you take away a part of that problem of the wires getting damaged over time, right? So again, I understand the need, the liking for CAN bus, like, because again, less wire, whatever. But then again, you're messing with software. Now you're doing a lot more flashing. Now you have a lot more points of failure, because if that board fails, you're gonna have to buy a new board to replace it, right? But if you wire up your printer properly, you don't have to replace anything. Like the wires, the cable will run forever, right? So the cable is the least, a quality cable is the least issue when it comes to these things. Like I replace the boards. Like I'm most likely to replace a board more than I'm replacing the cable, to be honest with you. So again, it's all depending on the details here. But I do agree, there's a place for CAN bus. There will always be a place for CAN bus, especially again for those who are just savvy with it, that just want to save some time. I can see the benefit of it. But again, if it comes back to the drag chain part, if you just buy proper cable for the drag chain that actually is meant to be in a drag chain, then you wouldn't have the issue in the first place with a drag chain destroying the cable. So it's all again, pros and cons each way. I don't mind it each way, you know. So, but yeah, I think that would be the case. Cause communication error to CAN bus. LOL. All good, bro. Like the fan will shut off for a second in the part of movement. Yes, I've seen that too. Yeah, I've experienced all that too. 007 FPP. Yeah, the fans will shut off in the middle of print. I remember when I first put my 1.8 together, and I mean, couple of days into printing, right? I noticed the part cooling fan shut off, and I'm like, what the hell? Like in the middle of my print, right? And if it's not the part cooling fan, the hot end fan will shut off. And so I've seen the issues before. Trust me. That's why I said silicone cables that people are using in cable chain, in the cheap cable chains, are not a good idea. It's definitely going to get destroyed no matter what you do. But iGus cable chains, iGus continuous flex cable, that's not an issue. That is literally a non-issue. So that's why I've been promoting it, because it's worth it if you're using a cable chain and I want to go that route. So oh yeah, I can do that for you, 3D experiment. Yeah, I'll post a link right now. I'm actually gonna, let me go ahead and post a link. Let me find it for you. iGus continuous flex cable. Let me go in my account and post you the correct model. Go my iGus. Sign in. History. Order history. Let me find my order history here. Indication. CF8825. Okay, this is way too thick. I wouldn't recommend this part. It is way too thick. Let's go to here and let's search that. There we go. Alright, I'm posting a link now. So keep in mind, this is, you can pick the amount of conductors you want. You can pick the gauges, and you can pick the amount of conductors you want in it. So you don't have to have like 20 conductors or 24. You can pick 10 conductors, 16 conductors, 18 conductors. Just depends on how much you want added. So there's a link I posted here for you guys. Yeah. The rewiring part, 007, yeah, that's the annoying part. But this is why I told like everyone, like when I first discovered this cable chain, like the first thought when I used this cable chain, I'm like, the first thing that came to mind was like, why is no one in Voron recommending this? Like, why is nobody recommending this stuff? Like, this stuff is like industrial cables. So I'm surprised Voron or anybody on the team didn't recommend this type of cable, because that's what it's meant for. It's meant to be in a cable chain. You know what I'm saying? If you go on iGus website, they literally show you cables that are meant to be in a cable chain. So when I saw it, I'm like, nobody thought about using this stuff. So when I used it and saw the benefit of it, that's why I kept on promoting it. Like, this is the stuff you use because it works. It's meant for stuff like this, you know. Yeah, but I'll keep using it, man. Like I said, I've wired up all my printers, no issues up to today. This stuff is solid. Like, I don't know why, but it just works. I can't, you know, and that's what I'm saying. For me, like, I would love to do CAN bus, but I'm gonna do CAN bus like maybe on a newer build, like, you know, like a newer printer that I build. But right now, like, everything I wired up works. so I'm just gonna keep using this stuff because it just works great. So I can't recommend it enough. I just can't recommend it enough. It's just great. And especially if you're running umbilical, the sheeting is thick enough too. Like, the housing is thick enough where it flex just enough, but it's also rigid enough to not collapse on itself. Because you notice with umbilical, you have to, you know, most people use either the PTFE tube to kind of give it some rigidness, or they use what's that thing you use on the switch wire? Like the stuff you use on the switch wire to keep the gantry from falling, like a keychain, like a key back. Yeah. So people use a key back to hold that up. That to me is like corny. It's kind of tacky. Like, I don't like that look. Like, to have that. So with a continuous flex cable, it's rigid enough to keep itself up. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of the movement, it stays up and kind of have that nice flex to it. So to me, it has a lot more positive than negative. The only negative is that, you know, you got to wire it up. That is literally the only thing. So if you're not good at wiring or crimping, then I can understand that that's not appealing to anybody. But if you can wire and crimp, it's worth it. It's totally worth using that cable. Oh, okay. Voron philosophy is to avoid products not available from multiple manufacturers. Oh, I see. I understand. I guess I can understand that, because I think iGus is based in US only, and I think I've actually met a couple people on Facebook that will actually don't mind me like buying it and shipping it to them, which I'm gonna do that for a friend because he really wants to try the cable. He really likes it. So I guess that kind of sucks that you can't really get that worldwide, but if you could, it'd be the definite cable to go to. Like, it's so worth it. So oh, you starting one printer at a time. I've got a 20 feet roll on hand, and I was going to try CAN bus, but it's going to on the shelf for now. Okay, awesome 007 FTP. Just, hey, report back. Tell me what you think once you wire up a printer, and report back. I promise you, man, once you get it wired up, you're probably never gonna have issues. And that's what I like about this cable. Is like, I don't have to worry about cable, you know, no matter how much you bend it and flex. Like I said, if I can show you, this is a good, let me see if I can show. Because I'm at the end of the stream, so I'm just chatting with you guys. What I'm gonna do is configure it after, but I kind of want to show you guys this real quick so if you guys can see that. So if you look at my 1.8, do you see how well it flexes? So it's still iGus cable chain, but look how well it flexes. Like, let me pop this off real quick. I'm gonna pull it up a little closer so you guys can see it. So you pull the tool head in a little bit. So look, so it's in the cable chain, right? And look, it still flexes with the cable chain really nicely. Look at that. So yes, it's rigid, but it also moves very well in cable chain. And as you can see, there's no damage. There's no damage. Like, other than some little rubbing you can see in the corner there, but there's no damage to the cable chain. So it works really, really well. And look, another thing I like about it too is, look how clean. You don't see multiple cables, right? It's just one thick cable. So it kind of cleans up the whole wiring experience too. I don't have to have a CAN bus hanging off or nothing. It's just clean. So this is why I also like it, because it kind of cleans up all the ugly colors you get in cabling. So it just one thick cable just runs. It just works. It's great. That's all I can say. It's just great overall. It works. So I can't praise it enough. So that's why I'm just kind of recommending it. You know, but let me go back to main. So I'm almost at the end of the stream here, so I'm gonna switch you guys back. Up main. There we go. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying. Can extend. Where did you source your N52 magnets for your top? Or you just use N35? I got these, I can't remember what they're called, but let me see if I can post a link. I got them from Amazon a while ago. They're very strong. These are like these black magnets, but they're pretty strong for these little black magnets. I'll show you what they are. Let me go on Amazon real quick, and I wish my my lady was here to give you my affiliate link so I can kind of, you know, help out the channel a bit. But let's see if I can find this link for you guys. Hold on. Let me. She did show me where to go too. Oh, yeah, I can go on my YouTube and find it. What am I doing? Hold on, I have my affiliate links up here. What am I doing, guys? Alright, let me go up here and show you the magnets. I know I had a magnet set up over here somewhere. Where are my magnets set up? 'Cause I know I ordered a whole bunch of them. Wow, I actually can't find it. Really? Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to find it the other way. 6 by... I think it was, isn't it 6 by 3 millimeter magnets is what those are, right? I'm pretty sure is what we're using. There we go. Found them. Found them. Found them. Is it this? Yes, it's this. It's this. It's this. And these are... This is the company. Yeah, this is the brand I got them from. Let me post a link for you. Maybe you can explore. But this is the brand I got them from. Let me post a link. Here you go. Check that out. So that's the brand of magnets I run on Kenneth. They work really well. They're pretty strong for little black magnets. So that's what I use. I don't know if they're N35 or N52s. I really didn't do that deep dive into it. But how many feet you think need for? So for 2.4. I usually order by 10 feet bulk. That's long. That's long. You can actually cut that in half. If you're using a 2.4, you can actually cut that in half. So if you go 10 feet, I'm looking at mine. Yeah, you can cut that in half. I want to say. I would still measure though, maybe like 6 feet-ish for 2.4, especially if you're going to route the cables. So yeah, I'll get a 10 feet long one and then cut down what you from it. But yeah, I would say 10 feet, Lusink, if you go with that. It's why Voron doesn't have LDO steppers or Revo hot in the bin. Those are awesome products that they don't want to tie. Oh, I see what you're saying. N52 is required, yeah. Nozzle, yeah, got it. Okay, yeah. I don't know if they're... All I can tell you, look, I use them. They're very strong. Like, let me show you. Like, it's insane how strong these things are. I have some right here, so you don't have to worry. See, I got like every little thing. So there are these black magnets. And they're, look, just to get them apart is insane. Just I'm trying to take them off. Look, look, the pulling force. Look, you can clearly see this. Look, they're very strong. So I don't know if they're N95. All I can tell you is, look at this. Look at the distance. Look, distance. So they're very strong. That's where I got them from. So I wasn't joking when I said they're strong. They're strong for some little magnets. So that's where I got them. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, guys, anytime I find little things that you guys need that I find myself, because listen to me, I love to self-source. Like, I love to self-source and find little things that nobody else finds. So just like I found those magnets, anytime I find little things that you guys may look for, I'm gonna start like kind of posting links so you guys can actually find them, because I love to like hunt for little things like that. I would search the internet just to find an alternative. So yeah. You need a gas meter to measure the magnetic field. Okay, okay. Well, I was given a test. Like that's the best way to know how. But just the pulling force alone, like from that distance, is quite a bit. Because most magnets are not strong enough to jump to another magnet from that distance. But the pulling force was pretty impressive with those things. But I like that gas meter. I'm gonna have to look into something like that. I think that's a cool tool to have. Let me look it up. If it's cheap, I'm buying one. So just to have as a way to measure things. Oh, they're expensive. Whew, that's pricey, man. I don't know now, like $126 to measure magnet. I don't know if that's worth it. Just take my word for it. They're strong. Just take my word for it. They're pretty strong. Oh my goodness. Yeah, guys. So what I'm gonna do after stream, maybe not tonight, because I'm probably gonna leave this honestly tonight. But what I'm gonna do is hook this up tomorrow when I get off work, and then just again remove certain configuration, get rid of the cookie probe stuff, remove the I'm probably going to remove the end stop switch, plug that out, remove the cookie probe dock, and just kind of configure my stuff and do it. I may do a little video on it. It's worth the content, but that's all I have to do, and then it's up and running really, and just make sure that it's working fine. But outside of that, that was it. That was really the top installation for me. So it took a lot more time than I wanted it to, but it was fun. Stream is fun, so I don't mind spending extra hours just to get it done. So Voron was using something that they put together where they could test how much the magnet weigh. Okay, I see what you're saying. You may have to move the bed. Yes, I'm gonna have to shift the bed for sure. I'm gonna shift the bed down. Keep in mind, I'm also using borosilicate glass and a thick piece of PEI sheet on top of that. So I'm gonna have to pop the glass off real quick just to shift it. But it's no big deal. I can shift it down to account for that. What? How much millimeter difference? 10 or 20 millimeter difference? I think it's 10 millimeter difference in where it's usually at. So. But yeah, but that's it, guys. That was it. That was it. It was fun. I like doing stuff on stream. Streaming adds some pressure. Like, I'm being honest with you guys. Like, doing this stuff is not easy. That's why sometimes I look at Nero and I see like Nero and his antics. It's all for entertainment. Trust me. Nero and his antics is all for entertainment. But I can see how, you know, after a while you get used to it, you get, you know, getting that natural vibe of doing things. But stream does add a little bit of pressure when it comes to doing this stuff. So yeah. Tap sticks out a little further. Take it easy, bro. Alright guys, so I love you fellas. I'm gonna let you go now. I'm gonna get something to eat, but I will see you next Thursday. I can't remember what next Thursday stream is, but look at the schedule. There's a next Thursday stream. What I'm also gonna add to the schedule is a TikTok build. I'm gonna live stream a TikTok build. Remember, I did a video series on it, but this time I'm gonna live stream it for Squirrel Brain, because he was the designer of the TikTok, and just to highlight his awesome work. So a TikTok build is also gonna be added to that live stream schedule. So just stay tuned. But next week we have more stuff to do. I think it's K3, Annex K3 something, like the final product of that. So there's more to come. So stay tuned, guys. I really appreciate you guys. To whoever donate to me, I appreciate it. If you want to sign up to Patreon, just like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff like everyone says. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. So take it easy, guys. Peace.